We are sorry that it had to end this way. An alligator with an object in his mouth. As the detective got closer, they fired one round to the alligator. The alligator dropped the object that he had in his mouth, and we were able to retrieve Taylen's body intact.
The tranquil waters of St. Petersburg, Florida, concealed a nightmare, soon to be discovered by a lone fisherman, just hours after the frantic wail of an Amber Alert pierced the humid air. A missing 2-year-old boy, Taylen Mosley. The name echoed, a desperate plea in the Florida sun. But a more sinister question lingered, a shadow clinging to the edges of the frantic search. Where were Taylen's parents? Accident, or something far more deliberate? Brace yourselves. What unfolded was a narrative woven with threads of the macabre, a descent into a darkness where innocence is shattered. Viewer discretion, gravely advised. Thursday, March 30th, 2023. The day began like very morning. Lakita Denson reached for her phone and tried to FaceTime her daughter, Pashun Jeffery, which always picked up her phone usually. But this morning, only the hollow echo of voicemail answered her calls. A knot of unease tightened in Lakita's chest. Something was terribly, irrevocably wrong. Pashun Jeffery, a young woman forged in the fires of adversity, had called this place home for barely a month. A native of St. Petersburg, she'd navigated the treacherous waters of teenage motherhood, her determination a beacon in the storm. Her graduation photo, a testament to her resilience, showed her cradling her son, Taylen Mosley, born on October 23rd, 2020. The father, Thomas Mosley, was a shadow in her life, a wisp of a man chasing the fleeting dream of rap stardom, neglecting the solid ground of a steady job. Pashun, with a heart as strong as her will, shouldered the burden alone. She worked full-time at the local CVS. She'd managed to secure an apartment, a small victory in a relentless battle. Taylen, 2 years old, was a sunbeam in her life, a sweet loving boy with a personality that shone like a polished coin. When Pashun worked, he stayed with his grandmother or his great aunt. Even amidst the chaos of her life, she always found time for FaceTime calls, her face lighting up at the sight of her son's cherubic smile. Thomas had begun spending more time at the apartment, a presence that, while seemingly benign, carried the weight of unspoken unease. On Wednesday, March 29th, Pashun hosted a 21st birthday party for Thomas. The apartment, usually a quiet sanctuary, buzzed with laughter and music. By 5:15 p.m., the guests had departed, leaving Pashun, Thomas, and little Taylen in the quiet aftermath. Hours later, a neighbor heard a faint, unsettling noise emanating from the apartment. It was a sound that didn't quite register as alarming, a muffled thud lost in the hum of the city. It wasn't reported, but it was there, a silent harbinger. The next morning, her great aunt grew concerned when she couldn't reach Pashun. The phone rang and rang, only to be answered by the cold, impersonal voice of voicemail. A knot of dread tightened in Theo's stomach. During her lunch break, she rushed to the Lincoln Shores complex, her heart pounding with a growing sense of foreboding. The door remained stubbornly closed. Outside, her eyes fell upon a horrifying sight, a trail of blood, a crimson serpent, winding its way from the front door to a parked car. The police arrived, their presence a stark clinical intrusion into the unfolding nightmare. They entered the apartment, the air thick with the metallic scent of blood. The bathroom was a scene of unspeakable violence. Pashun Jeffery lay there, her body riddled with over 100 stab wounds, a testament to a rage that defied comprehension. The investigators, hardened by years of witnessing the darkest corners of humanity, described it as a very violent crime scene. But Taylen was gone, vanished. The apartment, once a sanctuary, now echoed with the silence of his absence. The St. Petersburg Police Department, along with other agencies, launched a frantic search. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement issued an Amber Alert, the urgent message flashing across screens, a desperate plea for information. Suspicion fell upon Thomas Mosley. The investigation revealed that he had left the apartment around 8:42 p.m. the previous evening, traveling to the Lake Maggiore area, south of downtown St. Petersburg. He arrived at his mother's house, a mere 10 blocks from the lake, just past 9 p.m., his hands and arms bearing severe lacerations. He was later admitted to St. Anthony's Hospital, where the wounds were deemed consistent with injuries caused by slippage during a knife attack. The search for Taylen dragged on, each passing hour a weight of despair. Then, late Friday evening, a chilling discovery was made. Liddell Golden, fishing at Lake Montgomery in Del Holmes Park, noticed an alligator with something clutched in its jaws. The lake, known for its large alligator population, usually held no particular fear for him. But this was different. A creeping dread washed over him as he realized what the object was. He flagged down nearby searchers and officers. As they approached, the horrifying truth became clear. The alligator held the lifeless body of a small child. A single shot was fired, and the alligator released its grip. The police retrieved the body, and the unthinkable was confirmed. It was Taylen Mosley. The medical examiner later determined that he had drowned. Thomas Mosley was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. The evidence was damning. A bloody cleaning bottle found under a bed bore his fingerprints. A bloody shoe print on the bathroom floor, marked with a distinctive Gucci emblem, linked him directly to the scene of the crime. Legal proceedings revealed that Thomas Mosley was found incompetent to stand trial, but that he is restorable. The investigators' reconstruction of the horrific events painted a picture of cold, calculated violence. Mosley had stabbed Pashun in the bathroom, then taken Taylen to the alligator-infested Lake Maggiore, where he either placed or threw the child into the water. After the killings, he sought medical attention for his self-inflicted wounds. Her great-aunt, her heart shattered, struggled to comprehend the enormity of the loss. The thought of Pashun and Taylen's final moments haunted her. "And I pray to God that they didn't suffer long," she whispered, her voice thick with grief. The Saturday she'd planned to spend with Taylen was now consumed by the grim task of planning 2 funerals. "I want people to remember them as 2 kids who absolutely loved each other," she said, her voice a fragile echo in the face of unspeakable tragedy. Here concludes our story. Beware the ones you think you know. The mask can slip, revealing the monster beneath. And remember, if you sleep, you'll make it easier for them.